This mask is going to help add shine. It's going to give you some deep hydration, and it's going to help strengthen your hair. All of these things are necessary, especially if you are looking to regrow or grow your hair. So thank you for being here. And tonight we are making a brand new recipe, okay? And I think that you all are going to love it, especially those of you that are dealing with hair that is dry or it needs a little bit of strength and it needs some shine. This all natural mask is definitely going to help you. If you have never used a mask before, then this is an even better opportunity for you to learn how to make it yourself. Learn what the benefits are for your hair and scalp, and also learn how to get these ingredients. I'm going to show you everything that we're using tonight, or mostly everything that we're using tonight, how you can get it. So before we dive in, I just want to remind you that if you are looking to join me on these sessions like this in the future, the kit that I'm going to show you is going to have everything in it that you need. So let's get started. First thing I want to do, I'm going to pull the camera down so you can see the table that I'm working on. So just so you know, like I said, everything or most of the ingredients that we are using are going to be in this kit. All right. This kit is available on the website. Everything will be linked in the description. Basically your DIY botanical kit. So this has 3 herbs in it. These herbs are going to be very easy for you to use. Lots of great benefits that you're going to get from these herbs. So what you get in the box is the nettle, the fenugreek, and the hibiscus, okay? But also, you are going to get some empty containers. So you'll get an empty spray bottle. This is for you when you create any type of hydrating mist or any type of mist that's water-based. You'll have a spray container. You'll have a container with a flip top or flip cap top. And this is for if you're doing oil infusions or things like that. And then we have an empty 1 ounce jar. This is just a small jar. You can use any size jar other than that one. And then we also give you a sample of rosemary oil, okay? Rosemary essential oil. So this is going to be great for scalp health as well. And then also, which is one of the most important things that you should do when you are making your own blends, is to label your products. So you're going to get some empty labels or blank labels where you can put the information on the label of the product or the blend that you made. So you'll have your blend name, the purpose, what you made it for, and then the date that you made it. Because anytime you are making DIY or homemade concoctions with herbs, and if you're using water at all, you definitely want to know the date that you made it so that you are not keeping products past the expiration, okay? And then last but not least, in the kit, you'll also get some recipe cards. So there will be 4 different recipes for products or, DIY projects that you can make with this kit, all right? So again, this will be linked in the description box below if you want to check that out. Now, I'm going to use all of the herbs and the essential oil in that kit for tonight's project, okay? So the first thing that we are going to need, and this is going to be a conditioning hair mask with a nettle infusion. So I'm going to take 1 tablespoon of the nettle because we want to do the nettle tea infusion first because it's going to take a couple minutes. So I'm just going to use 1 tablespoon of nettle. Okay, you see that? And then we're going to add hot water, okay? Because the way we are infusing this nettle is we're making it like a tea. So we're going to need hot water. And I already have some hot water here. I want you to remember you can use tap water, but I prefer you use distilled, okay? Always use distilled water. So I'm going to do a 1/4 cup. I'm going to do a 1/4 cup of hot water. That's probably a little bit more, but there's that. And this is going to need at least 5 to 10 minutes. So I'm doing that one first. And I'm just going to stir that. And there you can see. Now you don't have to have the water scalding hot. The water just needs to be at a temperature that you would sip. Okay, if you could sip the water at the temperature that it's at, then that's perfect. You don't want to scald your herbs. You don't want it to be too hot. You don't want it to be cold. Okay, so I'm just going to stir that. And there's that. We're going to set that aside and come back to it in a minute. The next thing we are going to do is our hibiscus and fenugreek. So again, 1 tablespoon of each. So here's 1 tablespoon of fenugreek. Okay, see that? And then 1 tablespoon of hibiscus. Okay, so you see both of those are in the little bowl here. This is our fenugreek and hibiscus. Now, because we want to make this a powder, the only way we can really make this a true mask, or a mask that would be beneficial and not have lots of big chunks stuck in our hair, is we need to grind it. Now, there's different ways to do that. I have an herb grinder I'm going to use. If you have a mortar and pestle, you can do it that way. That's the old-fashioned way. But I'm going to use my trusty herb grinder. It's going to get a little bit loud. Just bear with me. So give me a couple of seconds, guys. You want this to be as a fine powder, okay? That's not quite at the texture that I wanted, so I'm going to grind it a little bit more, okay? Okay, almost there. Now remember, the fenugreek seeds and the hibiscus are going to be a little bit difficult to get to a powder. Well, not difficult, but it may take a little bit longer. So don't worry about, if it's taking it a while to get it to a powder, but you don't want to see big chunks in there. You can see how there's still kind of some chunks of the hibiscus in there. We don't want that. Okay, so that's better. I still see some pieces in there, but I think we can do it maybe one more time. Let's run it through one more time, and then we'll call it good. Okay, that's getting better. We will leave it at that, okay? Let's pour it back in here. We've ground up our fenugreek and hibiscus into a powder, okay? So that's going to be an important step in making this mask, all right? You're going to have these herbs ground into a powder. Otherwise, you're just gonna have big chunks of herbs in your hair, and it's not really gonna work, okay? So, as you can see, that's in a fine powder. That's looking good. I'm pretty satisfied with that. And we will move that to the side. Now we need to work on our nettle infusion. We're going to go back to that. So it's been about 7 minutes since we added the hot water to the nettle. And so you can see the water has turned green. That's perfect. That's exactly what we want. Okay. Now remember, nettle, in case you didn't know, is rich in vitamins and minerals that support healthy hair growth and a balanced scalp. So this is one of the base for the mask, one of the main ingredients. And adding nutrients that nourish the scalp and strengthen the hair at the root is going to be very important when using a hair mask or any type of natural ingredients. So always remember, the more nutrients you can add, the more natural ingredients and nutrients you can add, the better. So I'm going to leave that there. And I'm going to strain this. I have another little beaker here. I'm going to strain this into here because I just want the water. I don't want the herbs, okay? I just want the water. So you should have a nice greenish, yellowish tinted water. And go ahead and press all of that liquid out of those herbs, okay? Don't shortchange, honey. Now, if you can let this go a little bit longer, I know we only did like 6 or 7 minutes. If you can let that go longer, that'll be great. Optimally, we want 10 to 15 minutes, okay? So if you can do 15 minutes, that's even better. But I think we only did like 6 or 7 minutes, which is still fine, okay? Now, So we're going to add this water, this nettle infused water. We are going to add that to the powder that we just made. So the fenugreek, as I've stated before in other videos, is amazing, amazing, amazing for hair growth. It's a DHT blocker, so it's going to help with hair loss. It's going to help to strengthen your hair. And then the hibiscus is going to add shine and softness. So both of these herbs are, of course, what we call a powerhouse for healthy hair. So this is about a 1/4 cup of water. So I'm just going to slowly add this. Now the consistency or the thickness or how thin you want it is going to be up to you, okay? And you will be able to, the recipe is simple enough to where if you need to adjust it according to your hair thickness or your hair length, you can do that as well. And you see that this is turning into a deep red color. Of course, it's from the hibiscus, but just keep mixing until you get it to the consistency that you prefer. If you don't use all the water, that's fine too. You can actually take the rest of this, put it in a spray bottle, and use that to just spray your scalp. Okay, that's going to also give you some scalp strengthening as well. So you see, the more I stir it, it's starting to thicken up. You can go ahead and add more water at this point. But one other thing that we have to add, or that I'm going to add to this, is an oil. So one of my favorite oils is right here. It's rice bran oil, okay? Rice bran oil is packed with antioxidants, vitamin E, which helps to strengthen the hair. It helps to lock in moisture without weighing it down, all right? So I'm going to mix 1 tablespoon. Remember, we're doing everything in tablespoons. I'm going to mix 1 tablespoon of rice bran oil right into this mixture. Okay. Adding an oil not only is going to give you some essential nutrients, but it's also going to make it easier to apply and work through your hair and scalp. Okay. Plus, this oil is lightweight and it won't leave any greasy or oily residue. Okay, if you're watching, if you would go ahead and hit the like button, please. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed to the channel. We are making a hibiscus and fenugreek conditioning hair mask. We infused it with nettle and we just added rice bran oil. Okay, now if you're looking at this and you're like, this looks really, really thick, add some more of your nettle tea or your nettle infused water, because that's really what a tea is. A tea, any kind of tea you drink, is an herbal infused water. So we are still mixing this. It may take some time to mix it and incorporate the ingredients in and to get it to the consistency that you like. I always tell people, start with the amount that you have on the recipe that I'm giving, because you don't want to make too much. We always test to see if we're going to have any reaction, if our hair loves it, if our hair doesn't like it, because all hair does not respond the same to herbs. Just because it's a natural ingredient does not mean that your hair will fall in love with it. Okay, my hair, for example, does not really like coconut oil. Okay, I can use it on my skin, I can use it everywhere else, but if I put coconut oil in my hair most of the time, it just does not do well. Now you can see it's coming more of it's a thinner consistency, more of something that you can work with in your hair. Now you can add all of this in there, it's fine, but I'm going to stop with that. I think that's a good enough consistency for me personally. Now, one last thing that I'm going to add that is included in the kit is some essential oil. So you will get a sample bottle of rosemary oil. Now, of course, the essential oil is going to give you even more benefits, especially rosemary oil, because rosemary helps to stimulate growth. So I'm going to do three drops. Now, this step is optional. If you don't like the smell of rosemary oil, if you have a different oil that you would rather use, by all means, use a couple of drops of that, okay? But essential oils are going to be great for giving your scalp a boost and then making your mask smell amazing. This already smells very good. Hibiscus flower the smell from that is very strong. It's just a floral smell. And then you add that with the rosemary, which is an herbal type of scent. And this just smells really good. Now, when you are ready to use this, I would suggest making this when you are, or at least when you're ready to use it, no more than 24 hours prior, because we don't want this to sit too long. The herbs will start to absorb the water and it will get very thick. It will thicken back up. So if you need to wait, a few hours to use it, that's fine. Just, retain some of the water to the side so that you can add it into it when you're ready to use it, because it will thicken up more the longer it sits. So I would say use it as soon as you make it, if possible, no more than a day before. So if you need to make this and then put it in the fridge because you just want to prepare everything for your wash day, that's fine. I wouldn't let it sit longer than that because it does have water in it. And anytime we make something with water, we are creating a breeding ground for bacteria if we don't use preservatives. And we are not putting any preservatives in this because we're keeping it all natural. So when you make this, you will apply it to your hair when it's damp, okay? Start with damp hair for best results. You'll massage it into your scalp and work it through the ends of your hair, okay? This helps to strengthen your hair at the roots while also hydrating the ends of your hair. And then you'll let it sit for about 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes. You can also cover your hair with a plastic cap to help to retain the heat. This helps to allow the nutrients to penetrate and condition your hair deeply. And then you would rinse it out. So you do this before you shampoo. You put the mask on, you do your shampoo, and then you condition and rinse it out. So this is a mask that should be used before you shampoo your hair. Let's get back in focus here. So again, about adjusting the formulation or adjusting the amounts of the ingredients that you use. If your hair is long and or thick, this may not be enough or may not be sufficient enough to cover the entire scalp and hair length. So if your hair is short to medium hair length, I think this amount would be enough. Okay, the amount that we made would be enough. But if your hair is longer or thicker, then you may want to double the recipe to make sure that there's enough product to cover your entire scalp and hair fully. So you would just double the fenugreek, double the hibiscus. Instead of doing a 1/4 cup of the tea, you would do a 1/2 cup, and then 2 tablespoons of your preferred oil. Now I used rice bran oil because that's one that I use a lot anyway, and I like that one. You could use olive oil, almond oil, jojoba oil. If you have castor oil, you could use that. That would work fine. Even though it is a thicker oil, it would still be fine enough to use for this mask. Whatever oil that you have is probably, or your favorite oil is probably going to be sufficient. So if you have a different essential oil that you prefer, I know rosemary is very popular and it's good because it is one of the only oils that's closest to minoxidil. Okay, minoxidil is the hair growth ingredient or hair growth. Well, it's not a product, it's an ingredient that are in a lot of hair growth products. And it's not all natural, but rosemary is the closest natural ingredient to minoxidil. So if you want something that is more natural, that will continue to stimulate growth and won't. So with minoxidil, once you stop using it, your hair does not retain the length or it falls back out. So minoxidil does work. It does help to stimulate growth, but you have to be prepared to use it for the rest of your life. Rosemary oil is not like that. Once it works for you and begins to stimulate hair growth and wake up those follicles and open that follicle head to get the nutrients in, then you are pretty much set. So if you find that rosemary oil is working for you, I would definitely continue to use that. And the reason that I chose these 3 herbs in particular, there will be more kits coming soon, but I wanted to start with something that was relatively easy to work with, okay? Because a lot of people are doing these, making these blends in their own homes, in their own kitchens. I wanted this to be something that was fairly easy to use, but would still give you all the benefits that you need for hair health. So just going through this one more time, we've got nettle, and it's because it's rich in vitamins and minerals, and especially silica. So that's something that's definitely going to help to grow your hair, and it also will help to balance your scalp. So if you're dealing with itchy, flaky scalp or irritated scalp, scalp inflammation, nettle is going to be great for that. Like I said, you can just use the nettle in the kit and make a tea. The tea that we made to add to the mask, you can just use that. Take that, make that, and put it in a spray bottle. Spray your scalp with that. That's going to help with itching, inflammation. It's also going to help with growth. Spray that on your scalp, okay? And then the where's the other one I just picked up? The hibiscus, okay? This is going to be a great for conditioning the hair. It's also good to add shine. So hibiscus, you can make the hibiscus tea. You can spray that anywhere on your whole body, actually, because hibiscus is actually also great for the skin. So if you make a hibiscus tea conditioning spray, I think I have a video on, I know I have a video on my channel. I'll link it in this video or in the description also. You can make a hibiscus tea conditioning or hibiscus conditioning spray, okay? Hibiscus is great for conditioning the hair. So that means if your hair is dry, if it's brittle, if it's dull, you definitely need hibiscus, all right? And then fenugreek, last but not least, is going to be your best bet, especially if you're dealing with hair loss. It's a DHT blocker. These 3 herbs together are all powerhouses for hair and scalp health. Remember, I talk about scalp health till I'm blue in the face because that is the foundation for healthy hair. So I'm always going to talk about scalp health. So I believe that this kit will definitely help with that. And then, like I said, there's labels in here because anytime you make any DIY concoction, you better label it. You better know what you made, why you made it, and when you made it. What, why, and when. You need to know that. So I'm giving you labels in order for you to keep track of what you make, why you made it, and when you made it. And then aside from watching these videos, if you just wanted to try to make something at home, I'm giving you 4 different recipes, what they are good for, the ingredients that are in that you can use, and then the instructions on how to make it. Okay, so that will get you started. This was an easy live. This was easy. What we made was very easy. It only took us, it'll probably only take you less than 20 minutes. I'm telling you, this mask is going to be excellent to add to your routine. Definitely pay attention to how your hair responds after you use it, okay? See if you can feel a difference. You may have to use it once or twice to see if you can feel or can tell a difference or how your hair responds to it. That's going to be definitely important for you. So I hope you enjoyed mixing this mask with me tonight. I hope you are interested in trying it out. So the little 180 Botanical Kit has everything you need in it to get started with doing DIY hair care treatments at home. All right. So you can do the mask that we did tonight and much more. You can find this on the website. Like I said, I will link it below. And if you would like, if you have a suggested treatment that you would like for me to mix, if you have specific issues that you would like for me to mix or show you how to create something for those issues, let me know and we will do that next week. I am going to go ahead and end it here, and I will see you all on the next one.